If you'll all stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, we're all terribly excited that we have lots of people in chambers tonight. And we've decided we're putting the anniversary recognition at the end of the council meeting, so you'll all stay.
That's how my agenda shows.
They're like, no.
Does anyone understand this?
The first item on tonight's agenda is the consent agenda, which is a group of items to be acted upon with a single motion and vote. It's designed to expedite the handling of limited routine matters by City Council. I will ask if a citizen or a council member wishes to have any specific item removed from the consent agenda for discussion. At that time, either a member of the public or a council member may request that an item be removed prior to council's vote. The items on tonight's consent agenda include approval of the work session and regular meeting minutes of November the 27th, 2018. Approval of the expenditure vouchers for December the 11th, 2018. Approval of a Renewal hotel and restaurant liquor license for Gustavo's Authentic Mexican Restaurant and Bar. Approval of a permanent modification of premises for the Safeway store here in town. So at this time, are there any items on the consent agenda that anybody would like to see tabled?
I don't have anything.
No. If not, may I have a motion, please?
I make a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented with the extra expenditures of $94,094.72.
I'll second. Levy?
Aye.
Lucero?
Aye.
Noyes?
Aye.
Carlson? Aye. Betts?
Aye.
Sheep?
Aye.
Linda.
This is one of my favorite times of the year because
Is this the citizen participation?
Karen, could
Nope.
you pull your microphone down just a little?
yeah, it's kind of,
There you go.
it looks like it's,
Thank you.
I about broke it off, so can you all hear me? This is one of my favorite times of the year because it's at this time that we get to recognize the anniversaries of people who have been on staff with the city for 5, 10, 15, 20. We don't have any 25-year people this year, but 30 and 40 years. So we'll start with those folks that have been with the city for 5 years, and if you'll please come forward, and once we have all the 5-year folks, we'll come down and congratulate each of you for your service to the city. Lisa Backstrom, is she here? I don't think I saw her. Okay.
Oh, got to be present to win, right?
Yeah. We're going to split up what's in the envelope if they're not here. Jennifer Goodall, is she here?
We're making a profit tonight.
Darren Murray. Ralph Parker. There he is.
Darren Murray.
Donna Peterson. Jerry Tebow. And Efren Becerra. Is Efren here? Efren here? Efren? Okay.
Thanks for coming.
Yes, we have half showed up. Let's go down and I'll just take these down and we'll do them all down there for the floor. Okay. It's an opportunity to thank everybody.
Hey, thanks. I'm on lifer.
Thank you, guys. All right, the next group are people that have been with the city for 10 years. Boy. It's your exam. Well, it's a decade, guys.
I'm stealing yours. You didn't want to leave this in, though, did you?
Congrats, guys. Good to see you.
We have 115 years left.
You can't let me out anyway.
To Mary. That's, you are so kind-hearted. 20 years. Mary Osborne.
Congrats.
30.
I'm going to leave it there.
Well, lots of people look at retiring when they reach the 30-year landmark. Hopefully, that will be the case for these individuals. Christy Hall. Well, it's quite a milestone, so.
Well, just ignore me.
Christmas lights.
It's one of a vanishing breed. Lots of people don't spend 40 years on the job.
We're going to have to mount a plaque on you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, right. Thank you, guys.
Come back and see us. All right. Yeah. It's budget night. It's got to be the most boring night in the world.
All righty.
Wait a minute, those cards won't cash if you leave early.
They said that we're in attendance.
Christy over there is out there. They're done. Christy lives out there.
I'll make it.
She trained.
All right, well, the room is
That's
cleared
hard
out.
to do.
Yes, I've gone.
At this time, is there any citizen that would like to address council? All righty. In that case, public hearings. Ordinance 1259, Series 2018, has to do with appropriating supplemental funds. Kathy?
Good
Boss.
evening. This ordinance deals with the revised 2018 budget. Article 7, Section 22 of the City Code, or City Charter, allows for revised appropriations at the expiration of 8 months of the audit year. Final budget hearings were held in October and November prior to the council approving ordinance number 1234, Series 217 for the original budget. We are revising our budgets across the board from $32,276,181 down $31,423,502. Some of these take into account capital projects that are going to be carried over, and so we've revised it this year. Also, some minor adjustments and things to other funds and other departments that needed to be tightened up from last year. Either money wasn't spent, or else money was spent in lieu of another line item. So that's about it. Any questions?
Okay. Any questions, council?
I don't have any. Nope.
All right, may I have a motion, please?
Madam Mayor, I make.
I'm sorry, it's a public hearing. We have to open it.
Thank you.
Have to open it up to public hearing. At this time, is there anybody that would like to speak for or against this ordinance? Seeing no one step forward, I close the public hearing. Now, may I have a motion?
Honorable Mayor, I make a motion to approve on final reading ordinance number 1259, Series 2018, approving an ordinance appropriating supplemental funds, rectifying budgeted excesses, and making budget revisions for the 2018 fiscal budget.
Second.
Lucero.
Aye.
Carlson.
Aye.
Betts. Aye. Noy.
Aye.
Levy.
Aye.
Cheek.
Aye. Second public hearing is ordinance number 1260, Series 2018, having to do with the setting of the mill levy. Kathy.
Okay, this ordinance does two things, obviously. It appropriates any funds for expenditure during 2019, and it does set our mill levy for the next year. Our mill levy has to be completed in 3 different ways, according to Tabor, according to the state charter of 5.5%, and the city's charter of 5%. When you calculate all those out, we have to go to the most stringent, which is the city's charter at 1.3 mills. So those are the mills that we will be sending to the assessor's office tomorrow. The total budget itself, all funds, $32,870,654. Out of these, approximately 58% of this across the board is for personnel services. Approximately 20%, or $6.7 million, is for capital projects. Most of these capital projects occur in our street fund and our water improvement fund, or our water fund, which total back to $32,870,654. Any questions?
Questions, council?
I don't have any.
All right. At this point, I'm going to open this up to public hearing. Is there anybody that would like to speak for or against this ordinance? All right, seeing nobody step forward, closing the public hearing. May I have a motion, please?
I make a motion approving the final reading ordinance 1260, Series 2018, approving the annual appropriation for the financial year beginning January 1st, 2019, and ending December 31st, 2019, and setting the mill levy for said financial year.
I second that.
Noyes.
Aye.
Betts. Aye. Levy.
Aye.
Carlson.
Aye.
Lucero.
Aye.
Cheek.
Aye. We have no unfinished business, so moving on to new business. Payment of invoices through the end of 2018, Kathy.
Historically, council has given finance department approval to pay all invoices through the end of the year. The reason for this is not only does the city want to close out their books, but also we have vendors who would like to close out their books also before the end of the year. What we do is we will go ahead and pay all 2018 invoices that we've received through December 31st, and then we will furnish council with a list of these expenditures at their first meeting in January.
Any questions, council?
I don't know if we should do that.
Did you want to come and approve at the second meeting and the fourth meeting?
I don't have any.
Are there any questions or comments? Okay, may I have a motion, please?
Mayor, I would
Make a motion to approve the payment of invoices through December 31st, 2018, with a listing of these expenditures to be furnished to council at their first meeting in January 2013.
Second.
13.
2019.
19.
29.
I'm reading off of this, it says 13.
Oh, just,
I'm like,
Fast.
2019.
We're behind payments. Second.
this is back to the future here.
Betts. Aye. Noyes.
Good
Aye.
catch.
Lucero.
Aye.
Carlson.
Aye.
Levy.
Aye.
Sheik.
Aye. All right, resolution number HE 2018-1, Series 2018, resolution WE 2018-2, Series 2018, which is the Water Enterprise Fund. Yeah.
Okay. In 2010, in order for the city to obtain a loan from the Colorado Water Conservation Board, we had to actually go in and identify two funds, our water enterprise and our hydroelectric plant enterprise, as actually enterprise businesses. There's a difference between an enterprise fund and an enterprise business. Once we did this, in that ordinance that established the City of Cortez Water Enterprise, it named the Cortez City Council as the governing board for this enterprise. Therefore, every year when the budget is adopted, you have to adopt it not only as a city council for the enterprise fund, but also you have to adopt it as the governing board for the water enterprise. And all this does is reiterate what was in our original budget. So we are revising the water enterprise to $3,339,211, and we are setting the budget for 2019 as $3,768,45. And all this does is just, you're adopting it two different ways. You've adopted it as council, now you need to adopt it as the governing board.
All right, any questions, council? In that case, may I have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve resolution number WE 2018-2, Series 2018, approving the annual budget for the City of Cortez Water Enterprise for the year 2019, and adopting the revised budget for the City of Cortez Water Enterprise for the year 2018.
Second.
Carlson.
Aye.
Levy.
Aye.
Noyes.
Aye.
Lucero.
Aye.
Betts. Aye. Sheik.
Aye. Now, resolution number HE 2018-1, Series 2018, having to do with the hydroelectric plant.
And I'm not going to repeat myself, this is exactly like the Water Enterprise Fund. You will be adopting $143,132 for a revised budget in the hydroelectric enterprise. And for 2019, you will be adopting, as the governing board, $143,207.
Any questions?
I don't have any.
May I have a motion?
Honorable Mayor, I make a motion that we approve resolution number HE-2018-1, Series 2018, approving the annual budget for the City of Cortez Hydroelectric Power Plant Enterprise for the year 2019, and adopting the revised budget for the City of Cortez Hydroelectric Power Plant Enterprise for the year 2018.
Second.
Levy.
Aye.
Carlson.
Aye.
Lucero.
Aye.
Betts. Aye. Noyes.
Aye.
Sheik.
Aye. Thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome.
The airline contract renewal, Russ.
Good evening, Council. This past summer, we went through the selection process for the Essential Air Service Program, and Boutique was selected. It took quite a while for them to go through the formalization of that selection with DOT, so we didn't want to push forward with our contract, even though it's currently in force de facto. So we had a 2-year selection for Boutique. The DOT approached the airline and the community if they wanted to go to 4-year. Community expressed their willingness, and so did the airline. So the contract is for a 4-year arrangement for them to provide airline service to the City of Cortez and the surrounding area. So the contract will run from October 1, 2 months in our rearview mirror, 2018, to September 30th, 2022. It has some modest increases in building rent. I used a average over the last 4 years of the CPI in order to establish a 1.5% inflation rate over the next 4-year period. I used this year's current rate, which is the highest of the last 4 years, going forward on the landing fee portion, because construction costs are rising faster than the average CPI. So that landing fee goes for supplementing our construction and maintenance of the airfield, which is where the airline is mostly using our facility anyway. The general aviation landing fee, which we'll discuss in a few moments, is based on the same landing fee as the airline landing fee. So as the landing fee for the airline goes up each year, the general aviation fee will go up in lockstep. So the 2019 through 2022 fiscal impacts will be $50,256 in 2019, an increase of about $1,400 in 2020, and another increase of about 800 in 2021, and of course 2022 only covers 9 months, so it will only garner $40,199. So if there are no questions, I recommend approval. But if there are questions, I am available to answer.
The only question I would ask is let's say in year 3 we find that we have you know, a lot of demand for an additional flight, say to Phoenix. Can we, even though we're setting up the contract based on flights now, do we have the option each year, if we would like to do so, and we can support it, of increasing those flights? Or are we locked in?
Yeah, this really doesn't address the essential air service contract between DOT and Boutique. This is just their use of our facility.
Okay.
If we want to approach DOT in any manner regarding their service here, whether it's, you know, we want an increase or we want a replacement airline if it really goes downhill fast, we can do that at any time.
Good.
So, but this is just for their use of our facility. It doesn't address the EAS at all.
Okay. All right, are there any questions, Council? May I have a motion, please?
I make a motion that we approve the operations lease with Boutique Air for a 4-year period from October 1st, 2018 to September 30th, 2022.
Second.
Betts? Betts?
Aye.
Levy?
Aye.
Noyes?
Aye.
Lucero?
Aye.
Carlson?
Aye.
Sheik?
Aye. Resolution 33, Series 2018, approving the fees for the city clerk and the municipal airport. Russ, or Linda, and Russ.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Linda's portion of this, but I've already addressed that the only fee that I raise from year to year that is not already addressed in a contract for a land lease or building lease is our general aviation landing fee. And I usually raise it exactly in dovetail fashion with the airline lease, which is, you know, in this case, is 4 years in advance. So this landing fee is only a portion to aircraft of 4,000 pounds and above. We don't charge a landing fee to the smaller airlines, smaller aircraft, because that's a shrinking facet of aircraft use in the country, and we want to promote aircraft in the private sector, so we don't want to burden that any more than it already is. So the based aircraft at the airport, since I've been there over the last 27 years, has shrunk from over 40 to about 2 dozen. So we don't want to see that go away. We'd hope it comes back, but at very minimum stabilize it. So that's the only fee that I've got going forward, and I don't know what Linda's got.
Linda?
And my fees are the very same as they have been as written here since 2012 for marijuana. We haven't put our fees on for liquor for a long time, and it sounds like we're going to work on that this next year. But these are the same fees that we've had since we began.
Okay.
And they're just to renew them.
All right, council questions?
I don't have any.
May I have a motion?
I make a motion, we approve resolution number 33, series 2018, approving fees and charges for the city clerk and Cortez Municipal Airport for 2019.
Second.
Lucero.
Aye.
Carlson.
Aye.
Betts. Aye. Noyes.
Aye.
Levy.
Aye.
Sheep.
Aye. All right, thanks, Russ.
Thank you.
Dean, Resolution 34, Series 2018, fees for Parks and Rec for 2019. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Chris.
Dean's just going to make a speech.
I'm just getting you queued up, Dean. Chris will be talking about application for a grant between the City of Cortez and the State Historical Society.
You just probably thought I was still in China.
I did. I thought you were. I thought your image was a figment of our imagination here.
It has been for quite a while.
It has been. We're glad you're back.
What we have is the Cortez Historic Group would like to apply for another grant from Colorado History to continue the review of possible homes, residences, etc. on the south side of Main Street. And one of the requirements from History Colorado's grant program is that council be appraised of and agree to apply for the grant. And there is no cost to the City of Cortez from History Colorado. All of their funds come straight through. We're looking at approximately $23,032 for the program. There will be some slight cost to the city in my time, processing checks, a few things like that, keeping records, but it really is very negligible. It will just help us keep the progress that has been going on from doing along Montezuma Avenue, doing Main Street, and now we're moving on the south side of Main Street. And,
this is basically what we've been doing for the last several years.
Approval to continue the process and allow them to apply for a grant from History Colorado.
Okay. Any questions, Council? May I have a motion?
I make a motion that we consider approving resolution number 32, series 2018, approving the application for a grant between the City of Cortez and the State of Colorado, acting by and through the State Historical Society, also known as the Colorado Historical Society.
Second.
Noyes.
Aye.
Betts.
Aye.
Carlson.
Aye.
Levy.
Aye.
Lucero.
Aye.
Sheep.
Aye.
Shay.
Thank you. All right, Dean, all the things I just said before.
Okay, I'm going to talk in English, okay?
Resolution 34, Series 2018.
The Cortez City Council sets fees and charges for the Parks Recreation Department facilities, services, and programs in keeping with the philosophy established by council that certain facilities, services, and programs should be either self-sufficient or a percentage of self-sufficient. The following fees and charges are being proposed, and our main fee, more changes than anything, is with the recreation center, the other areas with the outdoor pool, the rec programs, and the golf course. We're wanting to keep those status quo going into the next year. We've had several fee increases in past years. So with that said, in an effort to remain consistent with other recreation centers in our area and also make it easier on the registration process, staff is recommending to combine the child age group, currently 5 to 12-year-olds, with the youth age group, currently 13 to 18-year-olds, and leave that price at the current youth rate. The new group would be youth 5 to 18-year-olds. This would affect daily entry, punch, 3-month, and annual passes. Staff is recommending to replace the current 6-month pass with a 3-month pass. We have had several requests for shorter length passes to accommodate the need for summer months and other short-term needs. And I've heard this for quite some time on the 3-month pass. It's a lot of people have wanted to see a shorter pass, but something more extending longer than what the 20 punch pass is. And the current 6-month pass is our least utilized option, and I think we sell about like 33 of them in a year's time, so not very too many of those are sold. Staff is recommending to no longer offer the discount for an annual pass paid in full. Patrons would still be able to pay in full or have an automatic withdrawal. Staff is recommending increasing the full facility rental fee for individuals and nonprofit organizations from $120 per hour to $150 per hour plus labor, and keeping the commercial rate at $400 plus labor. And usually that's, operation graduation. There's probably only a couple events throughout the year that we get full facility booking, and primarily it's the operation graduation. I guess any questions from council?
Council?
No.
No. All right, may I have a motion, please?
Well, Mayor, I make a motion approving resolution number 34, series 2018, approving the fees for Parks and Rec for 2019.
Second.
Betts. Aye. Lucero.
Aye.
Carlson.
Aye.
Levy.
Aye.
Noyes.
Aye.
Sheep.
Aye. Thanks, Dean.
Thank you.
All right, Mike Pasquin, you probably remember meeting him a few weeks back. He's the new Montezuma County Emergency Manager, and he wants to address council to give us an update on the county hazard mitigation plan.
Yeah, thanks, Karen. I feel bad. I'll never show up again with slides because I'm the only one with slides tonight, so I feel real bad about that. I don't have that many slides, and this is really pretty straightforward. The county hazard mitigation plan, which is on the county website under the emergency manager, it's several hundred pages long, and it was updated back in 16 by a contractor. It's good for 5 years, so it'll expire in 2021, but I just got approval from the Board of Commissioners to pursue using a grant to update the plan the same way that we did to write the plan back in 16. So it's still early. You think, well, 2021 is a long ways off, but we actually have to start working that process right now, and I've got a number of documents that have to be submitted by the middle of January to get the ball rolling. The grant pays for 75% of the project, and the county is going to pay for 25%. What people don't realize, if we have a current plan, it not only pays federal funds if there's a disaster afterwards for recovery efforts, but it also pays for pre-disaster projects. And I'm looking at some of these. You could fit a lot of different projects into pre-disaster planning. So this is just an example of some of them. And the list goes on and on. I just listed a few of them here. And then after a disaster, there's always new grants and new funding that's being developed at the federal level, and this is just one example. It's Program Decision Memorandum 2019 for future grants in any areas affected by a wildlife or wildfire or windstorms. These are just an example of some of the projects that that could be approved afterwards. And you can see it's a pretty broad list of projects. This is kind of an eye chart, but it just shows what actions are in the plan right now, listed by the county and the town. So there's like Montezuma County has 15 projects, and they're all numbered. And then the city of Cortez has actions, and Dolores and Mancos. Mancos actually has more than Cortez, but during the update process, all of these things are going to be looked at and talked about and updated. And like I said, the plan is several hundred pages long, so there's quite a bit to it. This is an interesting chart. It just shows the hazards in the area, you know, rated red, yellow, and green, for red being the highest priority, obviously. And I'm looking at this now. These are like natural disasters, anything that can happen in the county, but I'm thinking, you know, active shooter might be something we want to look at. So this is going to be discussed quite a bit. Part of what we have to do for an update, when we wrote the plan several years ago, there was a steering committee that did that. There was a planning partners that were made up from reps of the county and the towns, and those planning partners were supposed to prepare an annual progress report. Well, I'm looking at that right now. There's a multi-agency coordination group that I chair, and it meets every quarter, if not sooner, and I'm thinking about using that, it's called a MAC group, to do some of these things, like to look at this annual report. We need to see what's been done in the county. We can't just spend thousands of dollars on a mitigation plan and then put it on the shelf and not do anything with it. So this here just lists some of those things that have to be updated, some things that we have to keep track of with the mitigation plan, so when it comes time to update it, you know, we can feed some of these updates into it. So basically, I'm not asking for any money from anybody other than the county, and this just shows that the contract is going to have a cap on it at $35,000. The county's going to pay $2,750, but that's going to be spread out over 3 years. So they would pay $970 or $917 for 3 years. The federal share of that through the grant is the $11,667. From Cortez and Mancos and Dolores, I'm asking for $1,084, and I mean it's just you know, really small numbers, and it's not actual cash. It's in kind or soft match funding. And how I do that is when people come to meetings for the mitigation plan, I'll keep track of the time that they're in the meetings, and and we'll get paid $26.78. And it's not just time at the meeting. If you go back to the office and you're working on the plan, and you tell me that you spent 2 hours in the office, then I'll keep track of that as well. So it's just basically getting to those numbers. And we were lucky because they're going to let us count $8,000 and some dollars towards the cost of the plan with that. In September of 19 is when the contract should be awarded, and then the period of performance is going to be about a year. So sometime in 2020, the update to the plan should be complete. So there's a couple of letters for Karen Sheik to sign. One of them it goes to the state, basically saying that the city of Cortez is committed to, to the in-kind funding and supporting the update to the plan. And then another one is just a required letter that goes to me, the emergency manager, saying that you're going to support the efforts to update the plan. And that's basically it.
If I remember correctly, this plan has to be approved in order for us to be eligible for any federal funding should we have a disaster.
Correct. It goes to the state, and then it eventually goes to FEMA, and it has to be approved by FEMA. And then once it's on, like I'm looking right now at applying for some of these projects as long as we have a current plan. And there were some counties this summer with the fires that did not have updated plans, so they were not eligible to get funding, and they had some significant damage. So, so my goal is to make sure that we keep this plan current. And I know it's a lot of money to do it, but if we can get the grant to pay for it, plus it takes hundreds and hundreds of hours to do the work, even though it's an update, because there's a lot of FEMA requirements and new requirements that have to be incorporated into the plan.
All right, council, any questions?
I was going to ask John what he thought of this.
Well, as he said, there's a couple counties that should have had theirs done and didn't get, so now they're not going to get any money. So I definitely think the city will be participating in this, because it is important for all of us to know what we're going to be doing in case of a disaster.
Thank you.
there were some recommendations made too that I was surprised to see for the plan that was just written. There were some agencies that did not participate in the plan, and one of them was the Cortez Fire Protection District, believe it or not. So they'll definitely be included. The school district should be included. And there was some mention of a water district, or I'm not sure what that is. I've got to look at that, but I just need to be all inclusive with this.
All right, council, is there anybody have any other questions or comments?
I don't have any more.
In that case, may I have a motion?
I make a motion, we approve 2 letters, one to the State Hazard Mitigation Officer and on to Montezuma County Emergency Manager, noting that the City of Cortez will participate in the update of the Montezuma County Hazard Mitigation Plan.
Second.
Carlson.
Aye.
Levy.
Aye.
Noyes.
Aye.
Lucero.
Aye.
Betts. Aye. Sheik.
Aye. Will Lori be working with you on this as well? Lori Black?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, thanks, Mike.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
We have no draft resolutions or ordinances, no other items of business at this time. Is there any citizen that would like to address council? It's a strange chord down here, I just discovered. All right, if nobody wants to address council, there's no city attorney's report. City manager.
Thank you, Mayor. I have an update. I talked to Russ before the meeting started. As of today, we're at 180 passengers. Our goal was 180, but we still have some reservations for tomorrow, so we're going to go ahead and run tomorrow. That should clear the hurdle of the, I think it's 8,000 boardings, but if Boutique ends up canceling a couple flights or something happens, we do have the opportunity to get a couple more in before the end of the year, and we'll just line up employees and have them go out there and take a ride and give them parachutes and put them back to work. But we will reach that goal for the $600,000 from the FAA. The other thing I have, it's been a great year, and I want to wish the council and all the citizens of Cortez a happy holidays, and let's look forward to the new year.
Hear, hear. All right, thanks, John. City Council committee reports. Who's been to a meeting?
They canceled mine this month.
Oh, darn.
Yeah.
That delete button works good.
Yeah.
Mike, have you been to one since the last meeting?
No.
Okay.
Me neither.
Anybody? All right. Okay. At our workshop tonight, it's tradition that the last meeting of the year that the staff serve city council dinner. And we had a delicious dinner that was contributed by the staff, and I think I could probably speak for all council in thanking staff for the delicious dinner and just for the thoughtfulness and wanting to do this. We appreciate it. There was a discussion on future meetings with the county commissioners. Now that there is a new member on the commission, the suggestion has been made that it might be nice to have either some quarterly meetings or just regular get-togethers for the entire council to meet with commissioners. And so council has asked John to look into that and see what we can get set up beginning the first of the year. So we'll start the new year off on a strong positive note. Kelly Kirkpatrick, who's the executive director for Mesa Verde Country, did a really nice presentation this evening. Since we do have some new members on council, she used this as an opportunity to kind of educate and explain exactly what Mesa Verde Country does and what her charge is in that position. We had a brief discussion on licensing in the city of Cortez regarding not only the licensing of marijuana, but also of alcohol establishments as well. And council directed staff to please start looking into what the cost of regulation is, and give us a good appraisal of what it's costing for us to manage the businesses that have these licenses as opposed to the revenue that the licenses are generating. So that will be on council's plate sometime the beginning of the year. I don't even think we had any council discussion because it was time to come in for city council meeting. So is there anybody that has anything else for the good of the city other than happy holidays?
I'll just plug that we are having a holiday concert at the high school on Friday at 7 p.m. It's open to the public, it's free, and they are taking donations for the MCHS music program, but it's an adult choir. Not adult themed, just filled with adults, to be clear. But we would love for you to join us if that's your sort of thing.
And Councilwoman Carlson will be performing.
I will be, yes.
Okay, well, the last meeting of the year, when we come back.